This is a super quick video explaining how I raise seahorses. These are 2.5 gallon fish bowls, and this is one brood split into 4 tanks. It's a kind of a pain in the ass method of raising seahorses, but it works, and so I use it. Basically, you put anywhere from 30 to 40 seahorses in each bowl. There is an airline that is glued about halfway down, which causes the seahorses to spin in a circular fashion. It keeps them off the top of the water. Some people say that's not necessary, and it's probably not, but it's an old habit that I do it. So that's just my preference. Some people use blue round tubs to do this. I don't, largely because of space issues. As I said, these are 2.5 gallon fish bowls. It's probably about 2 gallons of water in each one, and the water is tinted green with phytoplankton. I use tetraselmis because that's what I have on hand. It helps keep the ammonia down, and it helps keep any food that's in there enriched. And what I do for food is the first week or so I start with copepods. They tend to be more nutritious, and some species can't handle brine shrimp from birth. Then once I've moved on to brine shrimp, I use enriched brine shrimp. I use Algamac 3050 or Dan's feed from Seahorses, and it works very well for increasing the DHA. As for cleaning, I clean each of these bowls completely once every 3, maybe 2 days, depending on how dirty they're looking. I take all the seahorses out, and this is the setup from that. Yes, it's a mess. I just did this. And that's just a container I put the seahorses into. I do use nets. A lot of people say that nets aren't good for baby seahorses. I've not had a lot of problems with it. Sometimes they stick to it because of the spines, but for the most part it's not much of a problem. And what I do is take all the babies out, then dump all the water out, wash it with hot water. I don't use bleach. Some people do like to bleach between each every time they clean the tanks, but I find that extremely hot water does the trick. They are prone to having problems if there's a lot of organic matter. That's why I have to change the water so frequently. The first 5 or 6 days I usually don't do a water change unless they're not looking good, and then from there it's probably every 2 to 3 days. It is very labor intensive. It's very similar to what Ray J uses. I never realized it until I was thinking about his method, but wow, that's really close to what I do. And I think I got the idea from him unconsciously. I do plan on coming up with a better setup. For right now, this works. And they stay in this setup for anywhere from a month to 6 weeks. Once they're eating adult brine shrimp, I then move them to bigger aquariums. This is the rack where I keep all the seahorses once they get big enough. Again, this is kind of the short version of how I raise seahorses.